happy Libra lunar eclipse. It happened at midnight last night, or 10, or this in the wee hours of this morning. So I know everybody's coming on board and sharing all about the Libra lunar eclipse. So one of the things I want to point out to you, how does it affect you? And so it's at 5 degrees of Libra. And what is exactly does that mean? So when you need to look at your natal chart and find out where 5 degrees of Libra is in your natal chart, and that will tell you which house it is affecting. And so if you want to understand which house it is, if it's the first house, it's about yourself. If the second house is about your money and what you value. If it's the third house, it's about communication. It could be about siblings or travels, short-term travels by car or, local travel. And also neighbors. If it's the fourth house, it's all about the family and the home. And if it's the fifth house, it could be about your children or about your romance in your life or your own creativity. If it's the sixth house, it can be about your health or even your daily work. And I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about what you do on a daily basis. And if it's about the seventh house, then it's about your marriage or partnerships. Marriage isn't the only partnership. There are business partnerships or collaborations that can go on, but also sometimes they can turn into enemies. And maybe the enemies is no longer happening. If it's in the eighth house, then it's about money you get from others. It could be about the stock market. As you can see, you might see cryptocurrency, the markets might have been eclipsing, taking money away. We've seen that from the new moon to the eclipse here. This eclipse is essentially a full moon, but it's affecting things for the next 6 months. So, this is a great time to invest right now. And then if it's the ninth house, it's a very spiritual house. And that's where 5 degrees of Libra is in my chart. It's a very spiritual house. So it's very interesting because lately I've been looking at my spiritual values. And not necessarily in a way that, my God is better than your God. But, what is it that is important to me spiritually wise? And the people I'm surrounded by, what is their spiritual values, and are they in alignment with my spiritual values and philosophies? Because I'm very metaphysical. I believe that we all are expressions of God, and it's a matter of how we show up as our highest self. And so it's interesting because I got a call from a good friend that basically, and not just a friend, but a beloved, who said, Tomas, I've been thinking about about this whole racism stuff, and I need to stop focusing on that. And I was like, what? Because I was thinking that is just not very godlike, or it's not in your highest self to be focused all on this racism stuff. And so when he said he's pulling back, he's no longer doing that. He needs to focus on, the good in his life. And I'm like, thank you. It's about time. And so it was almost like a prayer was answered. And then I have been in contact with one of my very good friends this week because we both realized as we spoke that we've been on the same seminar last week, a summit. And so we've been discussing that and supporting each other. So it's beautiful. But it's, it's these very spiritual type of relationships that are important to me. And are they lined up with me? And so when they're lined up with me, it's like, can it be supportive? And so that was my eclipse for this week or last night or yesterday. I tend to feel things before they happen. But anyway, let me go on and explain the other houses to you. The 10th house is the career house. So if you have 5 degrees of Libra in the career house, then it could be something going on with your career. So maybe something is eclipsing, going away to bring in something good for yourself. The 11th house is community. Now, the new buzzword is social networks. And I guess because we have social media and all that stuff. But I'm old school. I like communities, because I like to think that the people that I serve are part of my community. The communities that I belong to are, part of my community. So there could be several types of communities. So community. The 12th house is a the house of hidden gems is also a spiritual house, but we don't necessarily see it. So what you might have been hiding in the past, something that you might have wanted, might be coming forth and showing up for you. All right. So here's the thing is it's a beautiful time to experience beautiful things. And the thing about it is Venus rules Libra. And Venus is all about relationships, but she's also about sitting in her value and what she values. And so I can't remember, actually, I can pull up the chart real quick to see where Venus is. I believe that she is in, where is she? She's actually in Pisces. Oh, so it's a very intuitive time. So if you've been thinking about something and something changes, because that's what happened for me, something shifted in a relationship that was like, whoa, is this going to work or not? Because we're not lined up with our spiritual values. And so, something shifted. It was like, whoa, that's good to hear. So it's just like yesterday, I was thinking of my friend Edith, and all of a sudden she calls, and I'm thinking she's busy, and we both know that we're busy, but we took some time out to support each other and to really, kind of cheerlead for each other. And I think that's really cool. So, love you all. And by the way, if you want to come to my Libra Lunar Eclipse ceremony on Wednesday at noon, Pacific Daylight Time, it is coupled with the Aries solar eclipse that's happening on April 11th. It's a great time. Eclipse season is a great time. If you can't come to a new moon ceremony every month, it's a great time to come to the lunar eclipse ceremonies, because the eclipses, their time frame is not 28 days like the new moon. But their time frame is like for the next 6 months. What are you creating for yourself? So I love that. All I got to do is think something and intuitively, because that Venus is sitting in a beautifully Pisces. It's a very intuitive sign. And so all of a sudden, then things just kind of fall into place for you. And so it can happen to you, but you have to be able to recognize those and sit in your work. And this ceremony is an opportunity for you to sit in sacred ceremony. So in spite of all going on here in my life, where I'm packing and moving and I got a lot of stuff going on, I'm going to sit in sacred ceremony because it is a priority to me. And I welcome all those who are joining me. So if you're interested, then message me and I will share with you how you can be a part of this ceremony. Many blessings to you. Mwah! And happy eclipse season.